with you. We have a daily online raw food TV show, if you're not familiar with that. TheRawFoodWorld.tv. Every single day we put up a raw food TV show about something on our travels or a recipe or something. And a few months ago, I was talking about these fat cysts on my scalp. So, I have 6 fat cysts hanging around up here on my scalp. I kind of think of them as like relics from my morbid obesity days. And I think, at some point my body was like, we just don't know what to do with all this stuff. You just keep eating, and we're just going to put it up here. And you can deal with it some other day. So I'm still dealing with these guys. They're still hanging around up here. You can come and touch them if you want. They don't bite. And they're totally benign. They're not doing anything. But they're an indication to me that I still have work to do. Otherwise, why do I have some weird sacks of old fat hanging around on my scalp? There's still work to do. So I get these emails from people sometimes that just make me laugh. We get emails all day long from people around the world, and I'll get things saying like, I've been eating raw for 11 days. Do you think the detox is over now? Maybe if you're like 12 days old or something, It's not going to happen that fast. And that's totally okay. You wouldn't want it to happen that fast. Imagine myself, for example. I filled this body up for 23 years with junk. I mean, to give you some kind of idea, my nickname in my family was the corned beef queen. Maybe that gives you some idea where I'm coming from, right? And then I went raw. I was out to here with toxicity. And then I went raw. It's like pressing the release button on every single cell in your body. Like, okay, we built this stuff up for 23 years, now let go! And your body goes for it. The body wants to be healthy. It wants to have optimal health. It doesn't want to be living with disease. And so it's going to let go, but it's going to take time. It's not going to come out immediately. And there's many little things that we can do to help that process. I am almost positive he already spoke to you at length about colon hydrotherapy. Yeah. So I'm not going to go there because I'm sure you've had enough tonight. A few of the little things I like to encourage people to be doing is like dry skin brushing. I see a lot of nods. I think you guys are doing this already. That's great. We have 3 primary detox channels for the body: the colon, the skin, and the breath. There's some other guys doing some bits and pieces like your kidneys and stuff like that, but your 3 main channels are your colon, your skin, and your breath. Now, if you can be helping your skin out by dry skin brushing before you bathe or get dressed or whatever, and not covering your skin in crazy chemicals, that might be a really good idea. I heard a statistic recently that blew my mind. Apparently the average woman in this country takes 5 pounds of chemicals into her body in an average year through beauty products. 5 pounds! That's insane! Imagine, like, this is a £1 bag, right? Imagine stacking up 5 of those and going up to some woman, like 5 pounds of chemicals. Hello, would you like some lunch? I mean, no one's going to eat that stuff, right? Why would you put it on your body, in your body? Another little handy detox tool that I use every single day is a tongue scraper. I love these kind of things because they're totally low tech. You can travel with them. You can take them anywhere. They cost like, this is $10, $7. They'll last you decades. This is the first thing I do every single morning. I scrape the gunk off my tongue that's built up during the night. My body has worked hard to build that stuff up all night. It kind of makes sense to me to just pull it out, rather than start eating over it and take all that stuff back in again. So there's lots of little things we can do to help with our detox process. Coming back to juice feasting, one of the other things that really spoke to me about this process was there were points when I was juice feasting where I was in meditation, where I literally felt like I was being electrocuted. The flow of the energy that was coming into my body was so high because I hadn't eaten food for 3 months, right? I had no obstruction going into my system for 3 months. And so the energy flow was intense. And I actually started to set off car alarms when I was walking down the street.
Wow.
Not because I was, like rocking people's cars or something. My energy field was like booming. And I'm not suggesting if you juice feast that's what's going to happen to you, but I know that I have never seen anybody juice feast without going through some pretty significant life shifts, whether it's reversing a disease, changing job, changing partner, changing city, all kinds of stuff usually goes on. And to me, the reason for all of this is because it's about getting into our truth of who we really want to be, who we really want to be turning up as. And when you start to do something like this, stripping away all the nonsense and getting into your core, that 9-to-5 office job might just start to become kind of intolerable in your reality, So a little insider's tip for juice feasting, it's usually around day 20 that the really big shifts start to happen for people. So you do not have to do 92 days or however many, but if you could go about 3 weeks, then you might see some pretty big shifts going on. The main website for juice feasting is juicefeasting.com, and that's a wonderful resource. They do like yearly juice feasts and stuff like that. There's a lot of healing stories out there. There was a question?
I just wanted to make a comment. When you were talking about different energies and all that, like when you did that one fast. Last year, I did a fast. After about 40 days, I started going one food and then raw food. I had so much static electricity. Every time I touched my car or laundry or something like that, it was not just a little shock. It was a big shock. It actually hurt. It was actually interesting how strong the static electricity got.
Totally. That reminds me how much more I get electric shocks off things since being raw. Totally. Yeah, just like electric energy field. Alright, so I'd like to move on to share a few of my quick little tips for overcoming pitfalls with a raw food lifestyle. Are you guys ready for that? Mm-hmm. Alright. The first one I kind of mentioned already. For myself, I eat seaweeds every single day because of my thyroid. I want to make sure that my thyroid is getting tanked up on iodine and minerals. I like to encourage everybody to get seaweed into your body every day, regardless of whether you think you have a thyroid concern or not. Why? Because of the minerals. Most of the food that's coming from the land these days is pretty demineralized. So if you can get seaweed into your body in some form every day, nori and dulse are usually the easiest for people to handle. My favourite one at the moment is this guy, the Irish moss. Has anybody been playing with this?
Yeah.
Yeah? Been making pies?
Yep.
Nice. We put up some videos recently showing how to use this because we got really excited about it. I'm mainly excited about this because it's a seaweed, but the main way you use it is in desserts. It's genius! Right? It's amazing. I'm sure a lot of you realise one of the easiest ways of getting raw food into skeptical people is with desserts. You don't even need to tell them it's raw, right? Just put out some yummy pie, don't tell them it's raw, and people will eat it because people love desserts usually. Put the Irish moss in there and you're like renegading minerals into people. I love it. I love renegading raw food into people. So what this does when you put it into a pie or a cake or whatever, it firms it up so that when you cut it, it stays firm. Mr. Monarch likes to say it creates a tiramisu consistency, which some of you have probably heard on our TV show many times. So play with this, play with nori and dulse and whatever you can to get seaweeds into your body daily. If that sounds scary and odd right now, hide it. Just hide like a little bit of dulse in your smoothie or something. This stuff does not taste like fish by the time you get it into a cake, by the way, just to let you know. You're not going to be creating like really bizarre fish pies or something.
Kelp noodles are good too.
Kelp noodles are fantastic.